Hey gang, Dr. Foster here, the success coach with MaximumChange.com. Wanted to talk to you about building your business. As an entrepreneur, you have to know where you are currently. Now, I've already talked about the idea of where you want to go, but in order to go where you want to go, you have to know where you are right now. You have to know where the starting line is. Where are we starting today? And in fact, there are a series of things that I want to talk to you about. I have them here, right here in my notes. And I want to talk to you about some things that you need to think about so that you can move forward and moving toward the goal that you set in my last video. So the very first thing I'd ask is, where are you? Where are you today? Now, if you're not currently in a new business or in a business, you'll want to explore these things from the standpoint of what you want to do. For example, what are your working days? What are your working hours? You have to know where it is you're starting in the context of when am I available for my clients, days and times. For example, here at Maximum Change, we have Monday through Friday, essentially 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. Now, I always qualify that with that I'm available by appointment. And there are times where I'm working with someone outside of the U.S., outside of the U.S. time zones, and let's say they're in East Asia, or maybe they're in Australia, or maybe they're in the Middle East or in Europe, and they all have different time zones. They're ahead of us, and in some cases, tomorrow, they're already there. And so I have to figure out how to best work with them. So I have this basic set of time frames that I'm available for clients, but I always leave the option open to work with my clients outside those time zones. And I communicate with my foreign or international clients that I'm available to them beyond that. So the next thing we want to know is, who are your clients? Do you know who your clients are? Where do you find them? Where do they hang out? You know, years ago when I started my soap business, where I was manufacturing soap products and shipping them around the world, I identified my very first clients were going to be bed and breakfast. And the reason why I did that is because I knew that they had a need, and many of these bed and breakfast and inns and things like that, they're looking for a good quality product, but they didn't want to spend a lot of money. And at the time that I started my business, you could go to some of the big manufacturers and you had to buy thousands and thousands of units of the product and spend hundreds of dollars on it. And what I was doing is I was offering them a lower price point and a lower number of units that they had to enter into the price point at. And so I was offering them a value for that. So I knew where my clients are. Where are your clients? Where are they? Where do they hang out? Where do they shop? Where do they go online? Facebook is really good at this. They know exactly where these people hang out, and you can advertise them at really low price points, as in a matter of fact. So not only that, but what do you do with these clients once you get them? What do you do to help them? Or are you providing them with a product or a service? What is it that you're providing? You have to be specific. Where are they at, and what are you giving them in return for dollars that they pay you? Now, this is something that we don't often talk about, but we need to talk about. In the context of being an entrepreneur, what is your income? You have to make money. Now, I'm going to just tell you a little side story. Years ago when I started, it was 2005, I started as a life coach. In fact, I called myself a Christian life coach because I felt like I wanted to present life coaching from a Christian perspective. Now, here's the problem that I ran into, and I'm not belittling Christianity. I'm very much Christian. But what I'm trying to say is that when I marketed myself as a Christian life coach, what I found was that people wanted my services for free or at a drastically reduced rate. Now, at the time, I was charging a lot less than I charge today because of the demand that I have on myself. But the point is that I had a hard time, first of all, valuing myself and what I was worth, and also having a hard time translating that over to the potential customers I had, because they had a mindset that if I was a certain type of coach, then therefore I should do it for free or at a drastically reduced rate. Many of them came to me and said, do you have a sliding scale? And so what I ended up finding was that the people that didn't want to pay a lot of money to me as a coach usually were the ones that didn't really achieve much. They didn't go anywhere. You could talk to them and talk to them and talk to them. I've actually had to fire clients because they were paying me and they weren't doing anything. And I finally said, yeah, enough is enough. It's not worth the money you're spending to do nothing. And so I had to know what my value is. Now today, I have a certain income and I have a certain idea of what I want for that income. And you should too. You should know your value. What is it that you want to make and how are you going to achieve that? And many times we as entrepreneurs, we undervalue ourselves. And so instead of being maybe worth what you believe to be worth $200 an hour, you're charging $25 an hour. I want you to really think about the value that you're providing a client, a customer. What is that value? The perceived value. If that perceived value is greater than the amount that you're charging, then you're on target. So my example is, if you're going to show an entrepreneur how to become a six-figure entrepreneur, like I do, if I see, and I actually saw this yesterday, if I see somebody posting a training seminar, 6 weeks, I'm going to teach you how to be a six-figure entrepreneur in 6 weeks, 1 hour a week, and it's going to cost you $100 US. The first question I ask myself is, how valuable really is that information? Because the truth is, I could probably find that information anywhere on a Google search. So I'm a little skeptical about how he can teach someone to be a six-figure entrepreneur, six-figure business owner for $100 over 6 weeks. So that is, that is around $15 a week, roughly. How do you do that? How do you give someone value at $100 for 6 weeks? So my point is this: know your value. And then the other thing is, you'll have to explore, how do your clients find you? Where do they? Listen, you can have the best business in the world. You could have the greatest mind in the world. You could have solutions that create results in minutes. But if your clients do not know how to find you, if they don't know where you are, if they don't even know you exist, guess what? You don't exist. I spoke to a potential customer weeks ago. And here's the interesting thing. I was talking to them about their social media. And they were pushing back saying, it's just not my thing. And I don't like to do video and I don't want to be on video. And I said, but the market that you're focused on, if you don't have a social media presence, especially video, just like we're doing here, if you don't have that, nobody cares about what you're doing and your business is going to fail. Listen, these are hard facts, hard realities that you have to dig into. How are your clients going to find you? If they don't know where to find you, it's a waste of time. And why would these clients choose to work with you? Again, this goes back to the question of value. What value do you add? When I do these videos, I actually try to give you some value. I try to give you something that I could have otherwise charged you for. But what value are you giving a customer? Why would they even want to work with you? Let me tell you something. I have a client that I've been working with for 3 years. This is a very high-profile client of mine. This person's in the media. They're pretty well known, sometimes create controversy around them. And I create value for them because I tell them what no one else is willing to say to them. And you know what? I say it with love and kindness, with diplomacy, but I tell them things, and I tell them raw things like, you have to stop doing that, or you have to do this if you're going to achieve what you want to do. And the other day I said, I'm going to talk to you like a business owner to a business owner, and I'm going to tell you some truths. And I went down there. Why would a customer want to work with you, and why would they want to stay with you for 3, 4, 6, however many years? Because let me tell you something. My goal is always to work myself out of a job with a client, but the goal also is to continue to add value to that client. And this client that I've worked with for 3 years, I consistently continue to add value, and they consistently continue to work with me. Okay, the next one. What do you do in addition to working with the clients? So, for example, I tell clients that I work with them on a monthly basis, 1 hour a week. We get on a call or a video conference. Most of the stuff I do is on video conference, and we work through the goals, objectives, and coaching items that we have set for that week. Sometimes there's homework. Sometimes we need to regroup. Sometimes we are strategizing. Sometimes I'm a sounding board, whatever the case may be. But the question is, what do you provide beyond the product or service that you are providing? If you're providing a product, maybe you add a value-added service to it at a reduced price or free price. I'll tell you what I do. As a business coach, I don't just work with a client on a regular basis. I provide masterminds. I provide weekly Q&As where I get on live and they can talk to me. I offer, if I know that a client is needing a certain thing or looking at a certain thing or thinking about a certain thing, and I would come across an article or a book or an idea or a quote, I'm texting them, emailing them, saying, hey, you need to check this out. But also, I'm available to my clients at a moment's notice if they need to call me or text me, hey, I need this. Or I had a client the other day that emailed me to share a win with me. Now, I got to celebrate that win with the client. These are all things above and beyond the normal service that I would provide a client otherwise. And these are things that I do now that I may not have done years ago. Okay, so do you have more than one revenue stream? Now, this is a point of contention for me because I'm on a lot of entrepreneur boards, and especially LinkedIn. I might connect with someone who's got the title entrepreneur in their job title. And a lot of times when you put entrepreneur down and someone's in a I don't know, multi-level marketing, network marketing, they're doing some sort of, sales from home, sales from the trunk of their car, whatever the case may be. And they're like, hey, are you interested in a side revenue? Now, yes, I'm interested in side revenue. No, I'm not interested in your opportunity. And here's the reason why. Many times, those opportunities have nothing to do with what I do. However, I do believe in side income or other streams of income. That's why I write books. That's why I have training seminars. That's why I speak. That's why I go and do lunch and learns for corporations like, I don't know, Kroger and University of Cincinnati and things like that. That's why I have all these side, because they have very much everything to do with what I do as a business coach. I don't want to sell vitamins and energy drinks and electricity discount programs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it takes away from the focus of what I'm doing. It drives me crazy when I hear someone say they're a serial entrepreneur. A serial entrepreneur is someone who cannot focus on one thing at one time. And in my opinion, most of the serial entrepreneurs that I've met are not as successful as someone who focuses on something. Look at Steve Jobs. Why was Steve Jobs so successful in what he did? It's because he was laser focused. The other day, or yesterday rather, somebody posted on one of these entrepreneur boards on Facebook, name one word about, what it is to be a, successful entrepreneur. And I didn't do one word. I did two words: laser focused. You have to be laser focused. So yes, I think you should have additional ways to make income, different streams of income, but they have to be related to what you're doing as a business. Okay, so let's talk about this other one. Do you have passive incomes and activities? If so, what are they? All right, so passive income. Passive income is the income that generates off to the side without you doing anything. Yes, I have that. Do you have that? What is passive income? Well, you could write a book and you could put it on Amazon. You could do a video seminar and let it churn and keep going, and people join it and watch it, and they pay $10 or whatever. Those are passive income. They're things that people buy while you're asleep, or you're traveling, you're on vacation, or you're in the middle of coaching someone and someone else buys a video training seminar that you have just published, and you're working with a client, and all of a sudden someone over here buys a seminar and you just made money without even doing anything extra. So yes, you should have passive income. All right, here's the other one. Do you work alone or with others? Now this is key. I personally work by myself. Now, I have people that support me. I have colleagues. If I have a situation that I can't handle, or maybe I need to refer to someone else, I have other colleagues that I trust. It's key here. I have to trust them to pass someone off to them. But generally, I work alone. But maybe you don't work alone. Maybe you own a air conditioner repair service and you have several technicians that work for you. What is it that you do? And do you do it alone or do you do it with help? Okay. And finally, what are you recognized for among peers and in your community? What are you known for? Listen, I have reviews on my website, and I have reviews on Google, 5-star reviews no less. So you need to know what you're known for. What do people say about you? What do people think about you? Listen, this is not about an ego trip, although it's nice to hear those things, and it's terrible when someone says something despairing about you. But there's something that I want to say. You have to know how to ring your own bell, and using reviews is a good way to do that. But, and this is key here, take those negative reviews or those less than desirable reviews. Maybe they're not 5-star reviews, maybe they're 3 or 4s. Take those reviews and learn from them. And I would also go and look at the reviews and feedback of who you consider to be your competitors. And here's what I've learned. When you go and look at the feedback that your competitors are getting, you have an insight into what people want and need and how you can overcome the trouble that they've had with that competitor so that you can do a better job. And I do that all the time. So these are several different things that you should be looking at when you are trying to determine where you are, where you already know where you want to go because you've set your goals, and now you need to know where you are in the process. So I'm Dr. Foster. I'm the success coach with MaximumChange.com. I help entrepreneurs build their empires. I'd love to help you. I would hope that you would like this video, follow us here on YouTube and other social media. And if you really are serious about building your empire, go to our website, MaximumChange.com, and sign up for a free strategy session. 30 minutes with me. You will sign up on my personal calendar and set a time to meet with me. We'll do it by a video conference. If you don't have video microphone or video, I'm happy to meet with you via phone. But go to my website, MaximumChange.com. Let's set up that free consult, and let's get you building the empire, building the business that you've always wanted, and moving toward that 6-figure income that you so much richly deserve. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.